Sister Silverine, Ambassador Extraordinaire of PAIN, Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, and we are talking about From Pain to Healing, where we are going to have a series of talks on Sundays from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Sankhya TV. Thank you.
Sister Silverine, thank you again for making time to sit with me and have a discussion about the world that we live in today. The last time we sat together, we left it off where we were discussing young people coming from homes that are not nurturing and not helping them develop emotionally. And the last thing we defined was happiness, where people seek in their leaving their troubles behind, their disruptive and their turbulent household behind. They seek a new life with a new partner. They seek to build a new house, and they seek love, and they seek
happiness.
They seek happiness. So we had covered happiness the last time, and the needs and wants and differences between what is a need and what is a want. Now let us define love. What is love? Especially in this sense, what is the love that these people are seeking?
Yes, thank you very much, Omkar. So on the topic of love, which is a very broad topic, it's a topic you could never finish talking about. But what is love really? Love simply means to accept. If you could accept anyone for who they are, how they are, and what they are, it means that you have given all your love to that one. Because where there is love, there will be acceptance. And love should not be considered as a conditional love. Conditional love means if I tell you I love you, for example, but that love comes with, okay, I love you, but you cannot do this or you cannot do the next. Or you have to be like this or you have to be the next. Love means, however you are, I accept you, I appreciate you, I accommodate you. And so, talking about the love between two people that came from the broken homes, where both individuals are seeking the same love in order to be happy. So one will think, if I marry to this person, he will give me the love that I am seeking. And the other individual is thinking the same way. If I marry her, she will give me the love that I am seeking. But taking into consideration that these two individuals came from a background where they did not receive the love that they were expecting or that they needed. So because they did not get or never experience a love that they should have experienced, here they are seeking that love externally from other individuals. So these two people come together with the desire, with the expectation that if I get married to him, he will give me the love that I need. And he is thinking, if I get married to her, she will give me the love that I need. And so these two people come together with an expectation. And if that expectation is not met, then both will feel deceived. So they both get married. After getting married, both are expecting love from each other. But none cannot give to the other because he does not have it, so he cannot give it. You cannot give what you don't have. So because he never experienced such a love and acceptance in his whole life, it is not possible for him to give what he does not have. And she, on the other hand, is going through the same. She never experienced that love and that appreciation that she needed in her life. So now she cannot give what she does not have because she have never experienced it. And so both are expecting from each other. And none is able to give to the other because both need it the same way. And so that relationship did not last long. And because there is so much of desires in that relationship, unfulfilled desires, and I want you to understand this, unfulfilled desires leads to anger, which then leads to violence. So here in my mind, I am hungry for love. This love is not coming from anywhere. What starts happening inside of me? More and more desires start to emerge because I am empty. And because there are so many unfulfilled desires, each one starts bursting out, reacting to each other, because there is an expectation between both that is not being met. There is expectation between these two individuals expecting from each other, and none is able to fulfill the desire of the other. So because of these unfulfilled desires, it naturally starts leading to anger, irritation, rage, and a whole lot of aggression, for example. It starts leading to a lot of negative emotions inside. And these negative emotions then starts showing up. It starts reflecting in the way they think, the way they speak, and the way they act. So each starts acting contrary to peace, to happiness, to love. Means there is no acceptance in the relationship. Because here I am, expecting you to love me, and you never give me the love I needed. And both are thinking and maybe speaking the same way. So this relationship did not last long. But the relationship brought into this world a child, a baby. Now this child, being brought up in this environment where both parents are suffering from all these emotional traumas because they have never experienced true love, true acceptance. Because they did not experience it, they don't know how to give it to each other as well as give it to this child that came in their relationship, from their relationship. So how is this child going to be brought up? Also with needs, need to be loved, the need to be appreciated, the need to be accepted. This child is also being brought up in this environment where he is not able to receive the love that he needs, both love and attention. So what will be happening in the minds of that child? He is also growing up with a need. So these two people have created now this individual in society who also have the desire to be loved and to be needed, accepted. And because this individual is not receiving the desired love and acceptance and appreciation that he needs, he starts searching for it outside. And this is how children end up in bad company, in bad relationships. And so it is like a generation to generation problem. It's a problem that goes from generation to generation.
Now you're saying that it's generational.
Yes.
So it's cyclic.
Yes.
Well, firstly, how is love manifest? What are the signs of love in a relationship or to the child, parent to child?
Very, very good question.
The reason I ask is because a lot of people might be thinking it's about, hugging the child and kissing the child and pampering the child and saying I love you. And they say, well, I didn't grow up like this, so we don't do that, we don't hug.
Yes.
But that's not the real way of express, or the only way of expressing love. Or even if someone is doing that, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're expressing love.
Yes.
So how, or what are the signs, or how is love manifested in a healthy, nurturing way?
Very good. So how do you see and understand love or define love? We have seen where parents, for Christmas time, they buy lots of toys and lots of goodies for their children. So for Christmas time, everyone feel, love and appreciate it and whatever. After Christmas, what happens when everything is finished? Back to square one. Again, we go out to the world searching for things. So parents think that if I give my child all whatever he desire, so we see from soon as a child could move his fingers, he gets iPad and he gets iPhone and he start playing. Every child nowadays knows about phones, smartphones, and iPad and tablet and so on, more than the adults. So here I am buying my child everything, physical thing that he needs. But I don't have time for my child. The child is with the maid all day. When I come, I'm tired, don't even have time for the child. Now, while that child's mother or father is at work, that child has the desire, that need that when my mother or father come, I need that hug, I need that attention, I need that care that only they can give me. Yes, small children need love. They need that hug. They need that attention. They have so many other emotional needs, psychological needs. So here am I, a working parent, or working parents, think that, I provide everything that my child needs because I love my child. Yet still, when I come home after work, I have no time to spend with my child. What it is that child really needs? That child don't need all the clothing and all the shoes and all the toys you give him. That child simply needs your attention. Because that child also has psychological needs. Where is my parents? Who can I cry? Whose shoulder can I cry on? Who can I say, Mom or Mother, give me a cup of tea. Oh, it's time for my tea. The maid cannot fulfill the duty or give that child that motherly love that child needs. And only when the child starts receiving that motherly love, that nurturing kind of love that only a mother can give, can that child grow up with a healthy and emotional and mental mindset. So, every individual needs care, love, nurturing in order to grow and to have a healthy, emotional and mental mind. And so love fills that space, that gap, where I receive so much love that I have no desire for anything else. So once there is that love that individual receives or gets, and he is satisfied, then he will never have desire to be loved. And you would realize that any child or any individual receiving the love that he needs or the love that should be given to him those children are always healthy emotionally, mentally, and physically. Because love is such an energy that love heals you. Love heals.
So that's for the child of a person wanting to express healthy love, right? Now let's look at the adult where they have left home seeking love and attention and happiness, but have looked in the wrong places. What is a good starting point for that person to begin finding some happiness and some love?
Nice. Very good. Good question. So the starting point would be a reflection, sitting and reflecting. What is my problem? What do I really need? Why am I not at peace? So this self-talk or having self-conversations, I sit and I reflect on my life and I look at all the mistakes I have made. I look at my needs, my desires, my wants, see why it's not being fulfilled, where I am falling short. There's a lot of self-talking that we have to do. It needs a certain kind of awareness to understand that I have a problem. It's very difficult for people to understand and really accept that they have a problem. And there are many people out there who have problems, whether it is problems of love, happiness, peace of mind. There are so many things. Many people out there, they have desires, they have needs, they have wants. Where to find it? How to get it? And so when I start to sit and really reflect on my own life, what it is I need, where can I get it, for example? Why am I not being loved the way I expect to be loved? Why am I not able to give love or even happiness? Why am I not able to experience the love and the happiness? So see, when I sit and I really talk to myself in such a way, I will be able to realize that many things depend on me. My own happiness, my own love for the self. How much do you love yourself? I ask you, for example, Omkar, do you love yourself? Do you really love yourself? And then how much do you love yourself? Why? Because if you really love yourself, generally speaking, you will do everything for the self to be happy. And when I speak about the self, I'm not speaking about the body, but I'm speaking about this emotional individual, the spiritual individual that is sitting within you that have the needs. Physical needs, physical elements, factors, fulfill the needs of the body. But this desire that I spoke about in the last episode, this void that is there inside of me, can only be filled through spiritual knowledge, spiritual understanding of the self. So when I talk about the self, I'm speaking about this emotional and spiritual being that has desire to be loved. It's not the body that's asking for love, Do you know that? It's not your body who is asking to be loved or for love. It's not your body that wants to be happy, It is you, the psychological, the emotional, the spiritual being that is within you, that is seeking love, that has a desire to be loved. And that being that we're talking about really is an energy. Happiness really is an energy. Love also is an energy that we produce. Because if you just start thinking of, I am a loving soul. I am a loving soul means I am beginning to create these thoughts of love for myself. And so I begin to generate this energy within me. Now, why do we call ourselves human beings? Human and being, two different entities. The human aspect is the physical aspect, but the being is that living entity that gives life to the physical aspect, the body. That's why when someone dies, they no longer refer to the dead as a human being, but they say the body, the remains, the corpse. Why you are now a corpse? Because that living entity within you is no more, is absent. So who wanted love? Is it the body wanted love? Can you give love to a dead body? So who really wanted to experience and to live in love? It's a being within me, the living being. And that is the being that has the desires. Because here is my body lying. And this body here is not telling me, I want to be happy, I want to be loved, or I want peace of mind. So who it is really who want peace of mind, who want to be happy, who want to be loved? It is this living individual, energy force, the living force within me that we call the soul. Soul or the being. So it is the being that wants attention. It's the being that wants to be loved, unaccepted and unappreciated. Because when I talk about the self, I don't refer to the body. The body is not the self. The self means I, the being. So, who wants to be loved? I, the being, needs love. But I, the being, I am also love. Because if you ask someone, where is the peace you are searching for? They will tell you, peace is within me. If peace is within me, so is love and so is happiness. But we go out searching there for this love and this peace and this happiness. And our whole life will finish searching for peace, love and happiness externally, and we will never get it. Why? Because we were searching in the wrong place. It is not out there. The peace, the love, the happiness, the contentment, the wisdom, the inner strength or inner power, whatever we are searching for, it is already within us. And so when we practice meditation, we are beginning to go within, to come into touch with this source, this energy source of peace, love and happiness within us. And as soon as we come into touch with this self, this inner being, then we start awakening those powers and those potentials that are there within us. So we begin to awaken our inner peace. We begin to awaken our own inner love and our own inner happiness. It is there. But the reason why we are not able to experience it is because we have never taken that time to go within. Because everything is external. So meditation helps us to go internally and find ourselves. And when we find ourselves, only then we would realize that all that we were searching for externally is really within us. And so when we start to fulfill that inner desire, peace, love and happiness, we would realize that there is no need for all these 10 and 20 pairs of shoes. But 1 and 2 is enough.
Yeah. Now, for the person who is caught up in chasing after love or happiness and is beginning to look inside and to introspect. Now, some people will need guidance. Now, there are places that you can go for guidance and there are places that you should not go for guidance. Let's start off with the places that you should not go for guidance, or the people that you should not go to. I know in the beginning we talk about the young person, the young man might end up in a gang because they give some form of love and affection. So, well, obviously you don't go to a gang, but what are the other places people might look to?
I would say don't go to those places where people smoke or use drugs and alcohol and parties, because it's not really there. These are just distractions, Call it discotheque and all this cinema, all these are just distractions, entertainment to entertain us in such a way where we feel or we think we'll be happy there. But when you come home after everything, next day what happens? Happiness goes.
Yeah, and then
all what you enjoyed there goes.
If you go to cinema all day, you get fed up and
how much movies can you see anyway? So it's just a distraction actually, to distract your mind from the truth. Because we think that, okay, going to the cinema will bring us happiness. Let's go just watch a movie. And that distracts us from what we're really seeking. This is just an entertainment. That's why it's called entertainment. It's entertaining my mind. Distract me from the seeking where I'm supposed to seek. So where not to go should be in the bad company that I know will not lead me to a positive approach in life. And that will include where there is drugs, any kind of drugs for that matter of fact, whether it's alcohol in the bars. These are not places to go because these are only places of distraction. You should not even go. I wouldn't say you should not go to the cinema, but it's more entertainment for the mind. It distracts you more than helping you to reach the goal, which means helping you to really seek for the peace or happiness that you really want to. So it becomes more of a distraction and entertainment instead of really solving a problem. Because we know that the cinema don't solve your problem. It distracts you actually from the true path to the problem. Some people take to cigarette, some take to alcohol, some goes to these external community, not only gangs, but there is also bad company. And so it is so important to understand the company that you keep also. Because company, there is a saying that friends lead you away and don't bring you back. So you have to know your company. Who or what is a good company, for example? Choose your company.
Well, who should you not go to?
Good. Not go to or go to?
Not go to. Who are people one should avoid when you are trying to heal and find true happiness and true love?
Yes, in my opinion, we should not go to people who are also suffering. And that means that individuals who we know are not stable mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. And that could even be leaders. There are some leaders who lead their flock in the wrong direction. And we know of Jim Jones in Guyana. Not to be specific.
Well, it's kind of like, if you are thinking about breaking up with your wife, a man thinking about breaking up with his wife, he may seek out advice from friends who have broken up with their wives, and they will encourage them.
Yes, this happens also, yes. So this happens, according to the question. Normally, we try to go and take support from people who are going through the same process as us. Thinking or with the expectation of, they went through this, so let me ask them how they went through it and what they did. But remember, those people are also suffering. They suffered. So what they're going to tell you is, okay, take time. We also went through the same thing. Don't do this. Leave that guy. Their answers or their advice to you might be, leave the relationship. Don't do this and don't do that because they went through it. So do this and do that. But that's not the correct way. That's not the way. Because remember, these people are hurting themselves. Hurting means they're also going through their own sorrow and suffering. So what are they going to teach you? And if, for example, you come from a home where you know that there was conflict, and here you're going to ask your mom, well, what should I do in this situation? But you know that your mom also is going through the same problem. What advice is she going to give you? Or even your dad? So yes, there are individuals out there who are maybe more, I would say, healed, or they are more prepared to deal or to handle these situations and give you a sound advice that may help you to get out of your conflicts, out of your situation. So understanding also, who can go to get help from. And generally speaking, we go to these spiritual leaders or healers or someone who we know in leadership role in society. So there are many people who are there to help. In the government, there are social workers and so on, things like this. But always seek or look for people who you know are literally healed in the sense that they have no emotional, mental conflict with themselves or with anyone else. This is what you have to look up for.
Well, a thought I had while you were saying that is that, it's common that we say that we cannot ask this person because they have never been through this before.
Yes.
But it may also be another way of thinking that, probably this person has a way of thinking that prevented them from going through this situation before. Or probably this person has some kind of knowledge that they gained previously in their youth, or probably a special a form of development that prevented them from making certain decisions, and probably we can learn from these people as well.
Right.
Because I know it's a train of thought that this person does not know what I have been through.
Yes.
And that's why we go to the ones that have been through it for advice, because we think, they will give good advice.
Yeah. But on a personal note, I have never been through that kind of emotional and mental traumas and so on. But I understand it because we deal with a lot of people. Because I have lived so many years more than 20 years in Venezuela, been to many places, Jamaica. Even Jamaica, I have lots of students who went through these kinds of emotional and mental traumas. So I have experience from, let me call it, not a physical point of view, but from experience from direct, what kind of view you call that, boy? Educational point of view. An educational point of view. Because even though I have never experienced it, because of listening to so many people's stories, I was able to help them to come out of their conflict, even though I am not literally experienced in that field. But simply listening to people's problems, somehow it dawned on me what is the best advice for this one or that one. But this is what happens when you meditate. Because when you meditate, you begin to heal yourself. And in that meditation, you're beginning to be more aware of what is happening within you. And you start developing like a sixth sense. Have you heard of the sixth sense? You start developing another power, that emotional, that helps to deal with more emotional and mental traumas. It needs a kind of inner strength actually, an inner power to understand individuals, what is happening with them and what it is they need. And even though we don't give physical love to people, by simply speaking sweetly to people, speaking nicely, simply listening to people and individuals who are suffering, just listening to them helps them to start healing. So there are many ways to give love, and even listening to someone is a way of giving love. Do you know that? Love is not physical. Just sit there and give your attention to that one who needs your attention. That is love. And so healing starts from that point where I can understand the needs of this one. And if it's a listening ear he needs, here you are. I am here. If you need a sweet word, loving words, I am here. And this is what love is. The simple fact that I can give you attention, I can give you time, I can accept you for who you are. This is love.
Well, that brings us to, unfortunately, our time today. There were some points raised that I have questions about, naturally speaking. So we have, on the following episode, we'll continue in our conversation.
Sure.
And for those viewing, I would like to invite you to join us on the follow-up episodes as I continue my conversations with Sister Silverine Mangru, right here on From Pain to Healing.
Join us globally every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Sankhya Television as Parental Alienation Awareness International Network, PAIN, presents Ambassador Extraordinaire Brahma Kumari's Sister Silverine Mangru with the series From Pain to Healing.
This program is sponsored by Sampex Limited, networking societies for a better future.